Hello everyone. We're doing a quick little tier list today. Just going to do it quickly after the AEOS Cup qualifiers. So I'm going to not spend it too long this time on in-depth choices, but I'm going to try and do a quick rundown because it's been a while since I've done a tier list. So, straight into this. Let's go Venusaur, B tier. Not great, not terrible. Can work in some things, don't think it's crazy. Keeping it high B tier. Gengar, probably C tier. Sonic does a little better, but I think it's just fallen a bit out of favor. Actually, I'll say low B tier. Like it probably can do some stuff against matchups, but it's just not too strong right now. Mime, I'd say, I personally think is low A tier, but you know I'm biased to Mime, so, but I think it works decently in the meta. That's my opinion. Sonic's also A tier. Also, it's not the best tanks, but it's a solid tank, you know. It does its job. A lot of people are playing Yawn. I'm not a Yawn fan, but, you know, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Gardevoir, also A tier, I believe. It's, it definitely seems like it's pretty strong right now. Even if it was nerfed. Even though Spoon isn't the best with Yugo Psychic, it seems to just it does so much damage, and it's not the easiest to play around. You gotta run a lot of speedsters or something to assassinate it. But I think it's a solid pick. Absol, I think is also just low B tier. It can work in comps again, but other speedsters are just better. You know, like other speedsters, just you'd rather play most of them. Like, you know, Dodrio is always better. Scyther's back out, like playable. I think it's better too. But you know, it has some potential. It's not terrible. I'll move some stuff in here, but Garchomp, I think Garchomp's also B tier. Okay, I'll just leave it as like most of the stuff is just in the same tier and random positions. I think it's a solid pick again still. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's fallen out a little bit, but I think it still works well. You know, you can definitely see like B tier. I think is still like actually maybe in this aspect. I'll put Gengar down a little bit. I think that might be more reasonable. But yeah, let's keep going. Lucario. I think it's also still B tier. Has some uses, not overpowered, surprisingly. Yeah, it can just be played in a lot of situations. Russell, I honestly think Russell's low B tier. I think people underestimate this Pokemon quite a lot. I think it has uses in 5-stack. Solo Q maybe not so much, but in 5-stack I think it works decently well. I think it's got potential. Definitely has a lot of potential. Greninja also B tier, I think. Also can be used in some situations. Don't think it's great in a lot of situations. Maybe NA will have to disagree with me, but I think Greninja is a solid B tier again. Also Talonflame, I think Talonflame is a solid B tier. It definitely has a lot of situations. Like there's so many of these picks which are incredibly situational. I don't think they're crazy, but they're just like they can easily be picked to counter stuff. But it's not like a lot of these picks are just like not. You want to go this every game. You won't go this every game. You'll pick them a decent amount of time. But yeah, it's not a go-to. Also Charizard. I think I'll keep it C tier. Like it's on the also potential uses, but I think it's just on the lower potential uses. Like, you know, a lot of stuff just counters Charizard, especially after it doesn't have Unstoppable or anything with its Unite. It's just nowhere near as powerful as it used to be. Zeraora. One thing I'm confused about is actually not seeing as many Zeraoras. I think Zeraora is still decently strong. Maybe it's because of its scaling. It's like level 6. It takes a little too long to get to. I'm surprised we don't see any, honestly. But I think it's a low B tier again. And Cinderace. I think Cinderace is high B tier. I think it's still like a decent pick. Like a lot of these picks in Solo Cube may do better. But in 5-stack, I just feel like it's lacking a bit of things. Okay, Eldegoss. I think Eldegoss is maybe even S tier, really. Eldegoss is such a solid pick in almost any situation. I can't see you going wrong with Eldegoss. I think a lot of supports are kind of strong right now. Cram. Cram's bugged, but if Cram wasn't bugged, I'd say A tier. Including the bug, you know, maybe S tier, but that's... It's RNG to get that. I don't know how it works. Don't want to know how it works. It's banned. Banned for UCS. But yeah. pretty strong. Blastoise. Let me move some of these around. I think Blastoise is a solid A tier pick. It just works very well in a lot of situations. You know, it always scaling, does a lot of damage. It's tanky. The Unite is huge. I think it's just a very good pick. Pikachu B tier again. Pikachu has counter uses, but it's not going to be one of those picks you want every time. So I think it's another B tier. Gonna leave it there. Clefable. I think it's an A tier pick. I think it's probably one of the underused supports. Let's say underused supports. Okay, Wiggly's the most underused support, but like Anna supports, it does its job, but I think the other ones do it a little better. It has some counter things with gravity, like you can definitely counter comps with gravity, but I think the other supports in general are just a little better. Apart from this one, Wiggly, you're going in B tier, my dude. You're going to sort of slap bang in the middle of B tier. Its Unite got buffed, still meh, honestly. It has some uses again, but it's very small amount of uses. You'd rather have pretty much every other support, in my opinion. That's about it. A9. I think A9's underrated right now. I don't see anyone using it. Maybe it's because of its range. I think the Spoon made A9 actually decent, but I might just leave it in C. Actually, no, let's put him above Zera. I'll put him above Zera. I think A9's okay, but I don't think people just aren't playing it. Slowbro, I think it's probably at the bottom of S tier now, but I think it's still high up there. Just you can't really go wrong with Slowbro. Any situation you want to take, Slowbro will fit the job. It just does a defender's job incredibly well, and its Unite is it's crazy good. You can't go wrong with Slowbro Unite, so definitely an S tier. Quick coffee sip. Okay, Machamp. Machamp's just another B tier. Like I love the B tier because that's the most standard place, like average Pokemon. I think it's just another average Pokemon. Maybe you disagree, but yeah. Okay, Blissey I think is top of A tier. Why is Blissey? Oh yeah, Clefable has the defender background. That's why I'm confused. Okay, yeah. I think Blissey's a bit better than Clefable in some situations. Actually, no. I think those two do. They have slightly different jobs, but I think they both are like the A tier supports. I don't think I think they fall off a little bit compared to the other ones, but like Blissey always has uses. That Unite is crazy still. Incredible single target healing too. It's just supports are pretty broken right now. I think healing reduction is hopefully getting added to the game soon, but who knows? Who knows? Mamo can go down in the B tier as well. It just doesn't. You have to kind of engage to be used as as Mamo. It just feels like it doesn't perform as well as the others in competitive settings. In solo queue it's good, but in competitive settings, Mamoswine definitely feels like it falls off a little bit easier, and it can't have as much impact as the other defenders. I think it's more on the Crustle realm of defender, but I think it can work. It definitely can work, but the others are better. Okay, Sylveon. I think Sylveon's an A tier pick. Some people might disagree, but I think it counters a lot of good stuff in the meta a lot of the time. And it has a lot of flexibility, you know. I think you can pick it in a lot of situations and it works well. And it has both movesets are viable. I think it's pretty good. Korean, another B tier pick. Has uses. You're not going to pick it every game. It's another one of those picks, in my opinion. Decidueye also, I think, solid B tier pick. It's still another thing. It's like it does counter some stuff in the meta, but it also it's not something you'll pick every game. I think it's pretty average. It could be used, but yeah. Speedrunning this, that's why we're going a little faster than normal. No in-depth analysis. Dragonite, another B tier pick. I don't think it's crazy. I think stuff outranges it too much. Always has good secure, but range is an issue. Range is always an issue. Serena, I think Serena's another B tier pick. Don't think it's A tier. I've seen people try and use it. Still, has use. Just isn't as good as other stuff in the meta again. I think other all-rounders are a bit better. And Tree, I'm gonna put Tree in S tier. I think Tree is so good in pretty much any situation. Even against majors, I think it's pretty solid. Yeah, I think it's just a great pick. It's pretty strong. You know, don't even need stacks to make it good. But yeah, S tier. AG, I think I'm gonna put AG top of B tier. Like the top of B tier is right just under A tier. I think some of these could be pushed into A tier if you want to, if you really want to. But yeah, this is just my decision. I think its early game is a little bit weaker than it used to be, but I think this is a solid pick. Hooper, I think, is S tier again as well. Like these S tier picks, I think they could go in pretty much any order. Maybe just put them like this. Who knows? I think these picks are crazy good. It's Hooper. You know, what more can I say? It's super strong. Hey Dura, I'm gonna put you down as C tier, Dura. I'm glad no one plays you anymore. Get that flip meta out of here. Goodbye. You know, it probably could be B tier, but I don't really care. Okay, Zoom Roll. I think a Zoom Roll's another average B tier pick. Maybe put him with the champ. Like, it's good early game. Doesn't really stand out too much to me. Does some stuff. Like, I would rather have some other rounders most likely, but it's okay. Let's put SP on top of S tier. Everyone knows. Incredible last hit. Easy to play. Range is just so much better now. That range buff was too much. Top of S tier, I think, right now. Delphox also, I think, is like solid S tier pick. It got nerfed. It's Unite, it's just still crazy. Like, Delphox Unite is just so disgusting. Like, its cooldown's too low. It's such a good pick. I think that's... And then Glaceon, I believe, also is a strong pick. Top of A tier, I think. It's very versatile. Level 8 Unite. What more can you want, really? And then Buzzwole. Okay, Buzzwole, I think it's a solid A tier as well. A lot of people are picking Buzzwole. It counters also a lot of good stuff in meta. Don't think it's crazy good. I think it's good though. Okay, sorry about that. Back to Tyranitar. I think Tyranitar is also fallen off a little bit. I think it's probably in B tier. It just takes way too long. It takes way too long to play the game. Like, you're basically giving up at least 3 minutes of the game to play this Pokemon. All the enemies just trolling isn't punishing you. I'm not a big fan of T-Tar. I don't think it should be played that much. But it's B tier. You could play it. I think other stuff's better. Mew, I think, is S tier as well. I think Mew's crazy good. It's so versatile again. Like, it's so safe to play. What more can you want? Does a lot of damage. Super defensive. High mobility. Crazy pick. Scyther? I'd say Scyther is probably A tier as well. Scyther's Scissor here? Yeah, Scissor's also split. Okay. So I think Scyther is A tier. You kind of need some comp to work around, and it has to work into the enemy comp. But I think it's a very strong pick. It can counter a lot of good things again. It still does a lot of damage. Obviously, skill. You need a decent amount of skill to play it. I think it's very good. I think Dodrio is also S tier right now. I think if you're a good Dodrio, you can definitely make a lot of stuff work. I think it's decent S tier pick. I think it's a bit better than Scyther. I think it's the best speedster right now. Yeah, I think it works very well. Scizor, I think you're going to B tier. I don't think it's terrible, but it's another one of the cases of just I think other stuff is better. But I think it works fine. That's about it. Sableye, top of A tier. Do I put S tier? Do I break him into the S tier? It's one of the things that actually... okay, I'm going to keep it in A tier. Keep it top of A tier. I think it works well. You know, Sableye, you're cringe. What more can you want? What more can you want from a cringer? Zoroark. Zoroark is going to go a little bit under Scyther. I think it has crazy potential, but it's just one of those picks. You know, it's very easy to screw up on, and if you die, that's a lot of enemy XP. So it can carry games, but you need to be very skilled with it. I think very skilled. Okay, Urshifu. I always forget these. Water Urshifu, I think, is a solid A tier pick. Gonna put him just under here. I think Water Urshifu is an A tier pick. You do kind of need to know what the guys. This is a composition based pick. I think the other Urshifu, I'll put it in a second. Actually, I'll just put it in. I think the other Urshifu is, I think it's just the bottom of S tier. You can't go wrong with Darker Shifu. Like, I think it's always pretty much a good pick. It always gives you solid secure, you know, what more can you want from it? Tanky, does a lot of damage, has in like specific target CC which cancels and stuff. Well, I think it's crazy. Water I think is a bit not underwhelming, but just not as good. And you need it definitely is more comp based. Dragapult, you're going in B tier, my friend. You're very average. Enjoy the B tier. Comfy, I think Comfy is S tier as well. I think Comfy has a lot of good potential things, you know. But it's, you know, you can definitely counter Comfy in a way, but I think it's a very strong pick. I think it was a little unnecessarily buffed. I think it could have been buffed a little less and it would be still good. Don't know if I should I put it higher than Eldegoss? I don't know. Maybe I just move it like this. Maybe I keep it like this. I think this is more reasonable. Okay, now Goodra. I think Goodra is banned and competitive, but I think it's a solid B tier, like top of B tier angle. I didn't play too much of 5 stacks with it, already any, but I just think it is a bit underwhelming compared to other tanks again. Like it's not as good as some of the other ones, but I think it's decent. Lapras, I'm gonna predict is A tier. This is my prediction. My prediction is A tier. I don't know right now, and also get this cringe out of here. Zacian cringe. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Especially if you add a little one of these to the mix, that is high cringe. And that's about it. That's all I'll say on that matter. Unite devs, please fix Zacian. And you know, would be nice to see some balance patches that aren't going to be during the AEOS Cup qualification process. But we'll see. I think that is it for now. No D tier picks this time, I think. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.